Hello, hello. How are y'all doing tonight? We're going to have us a little talk tonight. Haven't done this in a while. Instead of the weekend forecast, we're going to have us a little talk. We're going to talk about some stuff that I think people need to hear. Matter of fact, I know people need to hear this. Okay. So I don't normally do this, but I am going to wait until we get a few people up in here. What's up, y'all? How you doing? There y'all are. Showed up quick. Gonna have us a neat little talk tonight. Be sure you share this video. Please leave a comment. Appreciate you. So obviously I titled this video, How Do People Attract Narcissists into Their Lives? I guess it's not just, centered towards narcissists, but that would be like the absolute worst case scenario. But why do most relationships fail? So before we get started, I still have the normal description of the video. For those of you who would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading, please check the description box of this video. Also, the tarot card reading course, that's still down there too. That's on my website now. So when you go to my website to purchase a reading, you can also go to the tarot reading course. It's only $11.11. And I think tonight she went ahead and posted the rest of the tarot decks on eBay. The first batch that we put up all sold out. So I'm pretty sure she's either done with it or she's still down there doing it right now as we speak. All the old tarot decks that I've accumulated over the 3 years of us living in Vegas, I'm putting on eBay and getting rid of them because we're moving next month and we're decluttering the house. So check the description for all that, social media. Okay. Yeah. So have you ever just stepped back and looked at the population? Like, remove yourself from yourself and look at the population. Look at all of mankind. Have you noticed that most relationships fail? You'd think it would be the other way around, Some of you may have heard me talk about this in general videos before, but you would think that most relationships would be successful and they would just fail every now and then. No, it's the other way around. Most relationships fail. They're only successful every now and then. Why? Why is that? We have all been very strategically and deliberately brainwashed, programmed, and manipulated into manifesting romance backwards. Okay. Now, I know some of you are watching who have heard me talk about a lot of these things, and I'll drop some of these points into different videos, but I want to try to bring it all into one video here, mainly for the new faces who haven't heard this information. This is very important information. Okay. We manifest romance backwards. Okay. That's not according to Rich Lopp. That's not my opinion. Some of the things that I know, I have actually learned from people who are connected to those who have sat in the highest positions in the world. It was done on purpose. I promise you that. So we hear a lot about law of attraction, manifestation, and even that is something that you have been misled into. Like basically, you've been steered astray when it comes to the law of attraction and manifestation. Even that, the movie The Secret, that's not that. If you are looking to things like The Secret and whatnot, I take nothing away from those people who teach manifestation and whatnot, but it seems like they give you all the little bits and pieces to give you the basic summary of manifestation and attraction, and then leave out all the most important parts, including the science. I don't know if we're going to get into the science or not, but my goal is for you to hear this and understand it. So, decades and decades and decades and decades of music, movies, TV, and media have, I argue, brainwashed us into believing that you have to get the relationship first, and that creates true love and true happiness. Wouldn't you say that's true? I mean, me, that's all I've seen in the movies. That's all I've heard in the music. I was born in 1988, you know? You know, some of them old songs, shit, this dates back to when my grandparents were kids, dude. You ever hear that music from the 50s? What about, like, dude, remember Michael Bolton? How am I supposed to live without you? You know? What about, like, Britney Spears in the 90s? My loneliness is killing me. How many times have you spent repeating that line in your head over and over and over? My loneliness is killing me. My loneliness is killing me. My loneliness is killing. How many times do you think that people back in the 90s heard that song, got it stuck in their head, and repeated that line over and over and over and over and over? My loneliness is killing me. My loneliness is killing me. And burned that into their subconscious mind. What do you think that did to them? What do you think that did? Dude, just the other day, I went out and got in my car and fired it up, turned the radio on. I like that you're lonely, lonely like me. I can be lonely with you. They have been pounding and pounding and pounding emotional codependency into our heads for decades and decades and decades and decades. But I'm curious as to whether or not anybody has actually taken a step back and looked at the population and asked themselves, why do most relationships fail? Because we have been programmed to believe that relationships create love. And they don't. If they did, most relationships would not fail. Let me give you a little brief rundown and explain the way it really works. Okay. The way it really works is vibration is the primary law of the universe. Attraction is the secondary law. Everybody's always talking about law of attraction, law of attraction, law of attraction. The law of attraction is the secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. What this means is you can only attract according to the frequency that you vibrate at. Whatever frequency you are on when you connect with a person, that frequency is what will manifest. Does this make sense? So what does my frequency mean? What does my vibration mean? In layman's terms, how do I feel most of the time? How do I feel most of the time? Most people feel lonely, empty, and insecure most of the time. And we're all searching for a relationship, and the relationship is supposed to make that feeling go away, isn't it? We're all wondering when the right person is going to show up. When is that special magical person going to show up in our life and make all these feelings of loneliness and emptiness go away? When's that going to happen? It's not going to happen. It's not. It's not going to happen. Imagine this. Imagine back in 1950, everybody was brainwashed into believing that In order to bake chocolate cake, you need ground beef and barbecue sauce. This is like the craziest example, dude, but I swear to God, it works. You need ground beef and barbecue sauce, bake it at 425 for 30 minutes, chocolate cake will pop out. So everybody is desperately trying to bake chocolate cake with ground beef and barbecue sauce, and it keeps failing. So the general consensus is, well, I got the wrong brand of barbecue sauce. They weren't the right person. See what I'm saying? Maybe I need sweet and tangy barbecue sauce. Maybe I need smoky mesquite. Maybe I need bourbon barbecue sauce. So they just keep, dude, maybe this person wasn't the right person. Maybe I need that person. Oh, maybe that person wasn't the right person. I need this person. I need a person who this. I need a person. No, 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 no. The person doesn't show up in your life and do it for you. That's not the right ingredients for a successful relationship. Ground beef and barbecue sauce do not make chocolate cake. Two people coming together in a relationship does not create true love. But we keep trying it over and over and over and over, and it keeps failing and failing and failing and failing. My frequency is how I feel most of the time. So if I am on the frequency of brokenness, loneliness, and emptiness, how do you think I can attract a person into my life? The only way I can attract a person into my life is if their vibration harmoniously resonates with brokenness, loneliness, and emptiness. And when I bring a person into my life vibrating at the frequency of brokenness, loneliness, and emptiness, brokenness, loneliness, and emptiness is what manifests. Can you think of some traits or some characteristics that might harmoniously resonate with brokenness, loneliness, and emptiness? Narcissism. Narcissism. At one point in my life, I actually set out to debunk narcissism. I did. I didn't believe it, dude. I didn't believe it. Narcissist is one of the most sensationalized buzzwords in the whole spiritual community. Everybody's dealing with a narcissist. You ever notice this? I mean, people just slap that fucking label on anybody. From what I've observed, about, I would say at least 50% of the time, when somebody says they're dealing with a narcissist, they're not. They're dealing with an asshole. People just slap that label on anybody they don't like. Oh, you have a big ego? You're a narcissist. Oh, you don't have any empathy for me? You're a narcissist. Narcissist, narcissist, narcissist. And I mean, I never really thought anything about it until one time somebody called me a narcissist. And that struck a nerve, dude. I was like, holy shit, am I? I never thought about it up to that point. I was like, if I am, I want to know. So I dove in and I started doing research, dude. Like, dude, when I research, I go fucking crazy. And long story short, I came out of it. I was like, okay, well, yeah, I do a couple of these things. I do. But you can take a couple of these characteristics and slap them on literally anybody. Every single human being I have ever met in my life does at least one or two of these things. But I've never met one human being who fits this whole description. You know what? I think it's bullshit. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I actually genuinely thought that it was just some conspiracy invented by the psychological community just to create victims. You know, because the psychological community needs victims or they won't survive. You know, they do. And no, they don't help you at all. Oh, no, they don't. The psychological and the psychiatric community, they do not help you. That's a totally different topic for a different video, though. But that's what I thought at the time. So I set out to debunk it. And then I attracted a narcissist. Like a real one, dude. Long story short, it humbled me. It humbled the fuck out of me, dude. It humbled me. I tell you what, I will never call another woman psycho as long as I live. I will never call another woman crazy as long as I live. Because that's what we always like to say, Men, straight men who date women. How many men have you heard talk about his ex? Oh, she's crazy, she's psycho. Yeah, there's a lot of women out there who are very emotionally immature, and they think they can get away with murder, and they act stupid, and we normally call women like that psycho. Oh, she's crazy, she's psycho. No, she's not. No, she's not, bro. No, you better quit saying that. I'm gonna tell you right now, you better quit saying that. You don't know. Psycho. I mean, I didn't know that it was possible for a human who is that sick to just be out there, just roaming around in society, working a regular job, and how can a person that sick be just out there? Anyway. So it humbled me. I was like, holy fuck. And the first thing that came to my mind was, how did I manifest that? That's always my first thought. Whenever I encounter a challenge or a problem or an obstacle or something bad happens, my first thought is, how did I manifest that? Because I did. I did. And you did too, just to let you know. There is no judgment. See, when they say like frequency attracts like frequency, there is no judgment involved. There's so many people that get so defensive and angry when you say that, Like frequency attracts like frequency. That does not mean good frequency, bad frequency. It does not matter if you are a good person or a bad person or a smart person or a dumb person. You know what? Let me give you an example. Okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you. Okay, imagine you have two people, person A and person B. Person A lives in Los Angeles, California, and they are in a relationship. Person B lives in New York City, New York, and they are in a relationship. Okay? Person A and person B both get cheated on and left for somebody else. Okay? So you could imagine the frequency they would be vibrating at. Pain, betrayal, anger, resentment. You can continue the rest of that list with your own imagination. But person A in California says, I could never do that to somebody. There is no way that I could ever make somebody feel the way that made me feel. I could not do that to somebody. Person B says, you know what? Fine, fuck it. If that's what it's like, all right, fuck it. I ain't never falling in love again. I ain't never trusted nobody again. You know what? Fuck it. I'm playing games. Yep, I'm playing games. I'm never going to be honest with nobody ever again. Never giving my heart to nobody ever again. Fuck it. Nope. I'm off to the races. I'm just playing games. Then person B takes a flight to LA, comes together with person A. They vibrate at the same frequency. What do you think is going to manifest? Does that make sense? Now, that's kind of a corny little cornball, cheese ball example, but you get the point, right? You get the point. The point is, we are attracting people into our life while we are broken. That's the point. That's the point. We have been so trained and so conditioned and so brainwashed to chase pleasure. And that's what relationships create. You know that, right? Relationships do not create love, they create pleasure. They create the same thing that any new thing creates when you bring it into your life. Give you an example. Have you ever gone a long period of time without a car? You ever done that? Or have you known somebody who went a long time without a car? I don't know, maybe you lost your job and it got repoed, or I don't know, you blew a head gasket and couldn't afford to get it fixed or something. For whatever reason, you went like 6 months, 8 months with no car. So if you've ever been in that position, you're like, I just need a car. I need a car. I don't care what kind of car, just something with four wheels that gets me where I need to go. Please, I just need a car. And then finally, tax time rolls around and you end up going and grabbing a car. And you feel so amazing. Yes, I finally have a car. Yes, at first, you feel happy. And then like 6 months later, 8 months later, a year later, oh, I don't like the color. I don't like the front end. I don't like the back end. I don't like the headlights. I don't like the rims. The interior looks like shit. The back wheel wobbles. It burns too much gas. And blah, 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 blah. And then you're bitching. You don't like it. It's a piece of shit. I want a new car. Right? Well, this is the same thing that most people are doing in relationships. Most people are broken, lonely, and empty, and they are convinced that I just need somebody to love me. I just need somebody to love me. I don't care who. I don't care who. Somebody, anybody. I just need a faceless, nameless somebody to come love me as soon as possible. And that's what's going to make all these problems go flying out the window. And then finally, somebody comes up into their life. And they're like, yes, somebody loves me. Yes, 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 yes. And they're so happy at first. And then 6 months later, 8 months later, oh, you fart too much. You snore too loud. You always leave your fucking towel on the floor and blah, 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 and you're bitching. And we realize we don't even like each other. We don't even like each other. Because that wasn't love. That was a short-lived, temporary pleasure response. That's what that was. Music, movies, TV, and media have brainwashed us into believing that out there somewhere is a magical, special person who you're supposed to be with. Supposed to. That's your number one goal in life, is to find this person. And when you find said magical person, they're going to waltz into your life and you'll just be able to kick your feet back, be happily ever after. All those painful, nasty feelings that you've been feeling, they're going to go flying out the window. And you're just going to be happily ever after, rainbows and unicorn farts and little pink bunny shit and Skittles. And then, then the credits roll, right? Happily ever after. What do you mean happily ever after? People come to me for personal readings all the time, and they'll say things like, will me and this person have a happy ending? And I'm like, what do you mean happy ending? Ending? What do you mean ending? Are you looking for an ending? I got news for you. That's fucking movies that brainwashed you into believing that. The couples comes together, they hug and they kiss, and then the credits roll. And that's the ending of the movie. And what fucking happens after the credits roll? They don't tell you that. Brainwashing, programming, bullshit is what it is. And this brainwashing and this programming is one of the many, many ways, and goddamn, I could go on all night talking about all the different ways that the powers that be, or used to be, have kept us spinning in circles, going nowhere our whole life. One of the many ways. Let me ask you this. You ever met an actual pair of legitimate life partners? Like a real match? Have you ever met one of those couples? And no, I'm not just talking about a couple that's been together for a long ass time, cheating on each other, on and off. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are all over the fucking place. I could probably walk around my neighborhood right now and find you 10 or 15 couples who have been together for 20 years, but they fucking hate each other and they're miserable. Been on and off 2 or 3 times. At least one of them cheated probably 10 or 15 times. Stuck around for the kids, cheaper to keep her. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are everywhere. I'm talking about those rare, hard to find couples that when you see them, they like belong together, It's like the most beautiful, harmonious unity between two people you have ever seen in your life. You ever met one of those couples? Well, they're rare as fuck. They're not, you don't just see them every day. But if you ever get the chance to meet one of those couples, or maybe if some of you perhaps know one, ask them to tell you the story of how they came together. Ask them. It'll blow your mind. I promise you, they will always tell you the same thing. We met by accident. It was completely random and out of the blue. I wasn't even looking for a relationship. Some people even go as far as to say, I had just made the decision to stop dating and focus on me. And that's when they showed up. And then there's my all-time favorite. They're not even my type. You ever heard that? I know some of you have. So the question is, well, what is it that's happening on an energetic level that would make somebody stop looking for a relationship, stop thinking about a relationship, and be so preoccupied with building their life around themselves that relationships are the last fucking thing on their mind, and then they turn the corner and run right into their person? Why would that happen? They filled the void in their own heart first. They matched the frequency of true love and true happiness first. It's not a relationship that we're looking for. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for true love and true happiness. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to feel happy, whole, fulfilled, and complete. We're looking to feel worthy, loved, and appreciated. We're looking to not feel lonely. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a feeling. Again, as I stated a minute ago, the problem is we've been brainwashed into believing that short-lived temporary pleasure response that a relationship creates is the feeling we're looking for. That somebody's going to show up into our life and create a permanent pleasure response, and that's love. Relationships don't create that feeling. The way you are feeling is your vibrational state. When a person shows up into your life, that person is a reflection of your current vibrational state. That relationship is not going to be a solution to your current vibrational state. Is this making sense? I know some of you who have followed me from day one have heard me talk about these things before, but I haven't put this into a video and summarized this into one podcast style video in a long time. And this is my calling. This is my calling. My job is not to just simply answer your questions with tarot cards. That's not my job. Now, I can, but like I've said before, when somebody just simply answers your questions with tarot cards, to me, that's like your buddy sitting next to you in math class giving you the answer to the test. You know, I said this the other night. It's like, yo, Jimmy, what's the answer to number 18? 35.6. Okay, got the answer. Okay, that gave you a little quick fix for the moment. But did you really learn anything? Did that really help you? Not really. What are you going to do the next time you encounter that problem? Keep running back to Jimmy? My goal is to be the teacher. My goal is that when you come to me for a reading or you watch one of my videos, you leave armed with some knowledge and wisdom that, if you choose to apply to your life, can help you figure out how to solve these problems yourself, so that you never have to go back to Jimmy ever again. Does that make sense? This is how we are attracting narcissists into our life, because we only attract what vibrates at the same frequency we do. What we have to do is monitor our vibration, and that can be hard. It can be hard. One thing I don't want to do is try to make this shit sound easy. You know, there's lots of spiritual public figures on the internet who, ooh, la, 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 and they make it sound so easy, like it's a walk through the park, like you're just supposed to be floating on a cloud and glowing white light and la, 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 la. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Stay away from those people, please. They are misleading you. The spiritual path sucks. At first. At first. It sucks. It's hard. It's painful. Once you understand how to walk the path, though, it gets easier and it becomes more fun. But especially those of you just now getting onto some kind of awakening, evolutionary path, it's going to suck at first. It's going to suck. We've been brainwashed. All of us. Me too. Me too. That's another thing. Just because I'm a public figure in the spiritual community does not mean that I'm better than you. I was brainwashed too. I am still working every single day on unwiring all the bullshit belief systems and all the programming that was pounded into my head through music, movies, TV, and media. Same thing, man. It's a lifestyle. And that's what we're here to do. So for those of you wondering, how did I attract that narcissist? How did I attract that shitty person that came into my life? And it goes much, much, much further than just romance. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's romance, a relationship you were in, or a friendship that went horribly wrong, or even a connection with a family member. That might be a little bit harder to trace because that goes back so far, but especially with friends, acquaintances, coworkers, and romantic relationships, everyone that you can think of that went horribly wrong, if you're honest and you take a look back, they all have the same thing in common. You were in a low frequency state when you connected with them, weren't you? Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. It's okay. I was too. Think about that. The vibration you are on when you connect with a person will tell you everything you need to know about what is going to manifest. This is why I see it and I hear it all day, every day. People get into a relationship, they get hurt. Jump into a new relationship, get hurt again. Jump into a new relationship, get hurt again. And then they come to me for a tarot card reading, wondering what the fuck went wrong. And in the same breath, wondering when the next person is going to come in. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Healing is your number one priority. Healing. Now, that's a totally different topic for a different video. I might do that tomorrow, possibly. How to heal. But healing is your number one priority. Why is healing your number one priority? Because vibration is the primary law. If you're on a broken frequency, you are not going to attract or manifest true love and true happiness. Now, don't be too hard on yourself, okay? I don't mean that you have to be glowing and floating on a cloud before your actual person shows up. I'm not saying go be alone. That's not what I'm saying. I've been trying to figure out how to explain this for about the past 5 years now. Essentially, our biggest problem as humans in today's day and age is we give all control of our emotional state to the outside world. All control. That's the problem. This is what I'm trying to shine a light on. Does that make sense? I'm trying to shine a light on every time we get hurt, we blame something or someone out here. And when we want to feel better, we depend on something or someone out here. Everything out here has total control of our emotional state. That's what I'm trying to shine a light on. So, no, you're more than likely not going to be this perfect, being who's glowing and floating on a cloud when your actual person shows up. But typically, what spirit is usually looking for is when you take total accountability and control for your own emotional state. Does that mean that you're going to be feeling happy and glorious all the time? No. Does that mean you're going to be a perfect person? No. But what it means is you are not dependent on anything or anyone as your only source of happiness and fulfillment. That's what the universe is looking for. No, you're not going to be perfect. No, you're not going to be happy all the damn time. Yes, you're going to have your bad days. But when it comes to your vibrational state, are you the one in control and taking accountability for it? That's the question. Sadly, most people are not. Most people are not. This whole fucking matrix that we live in, every corner you turn, pleasure. I mean, dude, it is every fabric that is woven, the every thread that's woven into the fabric of this matrix that we're in. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. From our phones to our laptops to, alcohol, to drugs, to, video games, relationships. We got dating apps. You can just pick this thing up and flip a couple of buttons and then be fucking somebody tonight. And it's just every fucking where, to the point to where most people are so distracted from what's going on in here. They don't sit with themselves. They have no idea what's going on in here. They're chasing pleasure, 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 pleasure. So they are so distracted from what's going on in here. They have no idea that they are on a low frequency state, sinking lower and lower and lower and lower. Does that make sense? All right. Well, I know at least one person needed to hear that. And as long as one person takes one thing that they heard me say and uses it to completely transform their life, then my job is complete. I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Y'all stay blessed.